Hey, welcome back to the driveway. So I have another equation up there that's a little bit different than the ones we looked at in the past, or looked at just a few minutes ago. But I want to take a look at this one because there's something kind of special about this. We did one like this before when we were solving for interest. Okay, we were talking about continuously compounded interest, and we introduced this number e. Okay, now e is a number, much like pi. It's a non-repeating, non-terminating decimal. So we don't like to write out the whole decimal, just like we don't write out 3.141599265. We just write the pi character. So we're going to do the same thing here with the number e. Okay, now e is a special number. It shows up a whole lot. So it also has some other things that we're going to see about it in just a minute. Now the rules are the same for the other equations that we solved. The first thing that we want to do is isolate that exponential term. Now, e to the 4 minus 3x, that's the exponential term, and good news, it's isolated. So the next thing that we want to do is rewrite this in logarithmic form. So the base of the exponent becomes the base of the logarithm. Okay? The exponent becomes the answer to the logarithm, and the answer to the exponent becomes the argument of the logarithm. Let's grab my chalk here, and let's get to it. So this e is going to become the base of the logarithm. So we'll have log base e of 6. And that's going to be equal to 4 minus 3x. Okay, now, here's the catch though. We use e so often that we don't have to write log base e. There's actually something else, you'll see it on every calculator for log base e, ln. And that ln is for the natural log. Okay, I know we write it ln, but we read it natural log. So instead of log base e, I'm going to write the natural log. And that's the same thing as log base e, and it's 2 characters instead of 4. So the natural log of 6 equals 4 minus 3x. Okay, now, just like the other 2 that we were working on, this natural log of 6, that's a number. It's a constant. I could type that into the calculator and get an answer. So I'm going to treat it like a number. Now, it's a crazy decimal, so I'm not going to write what that decimal is yet. I'm just going to keep natural log of 6 for right now. But now I need to solve for x. Well, guys, now it's just algebra, just regular old algebra stuff. X is getting multiplied by 3 and then subtracted from 4. So I'm going to work backwards to get that x by itself. So I'll start out by subtracting that 4 from both sides. Now, just like on the previous one, that 4 is outside of the logarithm. Natural log of 6 is a number to itself. That whole thing is a number. So I'm not going to subtract the 4 from 6. It doesn't work that way. So I'll still have natural log of 6. But I'll be subtracting 4 from that. Okay? Now, on the calculator, you'll probably see a set of parentheses around that 6. Now, this is going to be equal to negative 3x. Okay? Now, keep in mind, I know you might be thinking, well, that's a minus sign. Shouldn't I add 4 to both sides? But that minus is attached to the 3, not the 4. So when we subtract 4 from both sides, that minus sign is still attached to the 3. Which means when we get to this point, we have to divide both sides by negative 3. Now, once again, that negative 3 that we're dividing by is outside of the logarithm. And I need to divide this whole left side by that negative 3. So I got to be really careful when I type this all into the calculator. Okay, because now x is all by itself, and I can type the rest of this stuff on the left side into a calculator to get the answer. So I want to make sure that I get the whole top all grouped together. Now keep in mind, that division bar, yeah, it says divide, but also group stuff together. So right here, this natural log of 6 minus 4 is in parentheses. So when I go to the calculator, I need to put those parentheses there. So open up a set of parentheses. Natural log will probably open up another set of parentheses. 6, close the parentheses, minus 4, close that first set of parentheses, and then divide by negative 3. So we go to the calculator, we type that all in, and what we're going to end up with is about 0.736. And that's approximately equal to x. And there we go, guys. Okay, so the rules are the same. No matter what the equation looks like, get the exponential term by itself, rewrite the whole equation in logarithmic form, and then just use your algebraic properties to get that variable by itself. Okay, again, if you have questions, get me through email, get me through the chat feature. One way or another, get your questions answered. Good luck, guys.